joyful times are ahead.
All right, so here we are, both in the same room. Nice, we don't have to figure out technology as much. We're road tripping today through Cochise County, and we thought we'd bring you guys along. So today's theme is going to be differences and how opposites attract when it comes to being wild here. I am drinking my energy drink, and this is cold, and she is drinking her hot double shot espresso.
Yes.
And it's 82 degrees outside at 11:35 on April 23rd.
But we're not in the valley.
But we're not in the valley.
But I still drink hot coffee in the valley.
She does,
Yes.
all day long.
And she does not.
At all. I don't like coffee. So we accidentally missed our exit and had to do a U-turn. We are heading to Sunsights, Arizona. There is a super, super cute thrift store randomly down there that I have to drag this one to because we love thrift stores. Who doesn't? And supposedly they have really good pizza. So we're gonna grab lunch, and then we're gonna go out to Misfit Meadow, which is which, in case you don't know, is some land that myself and David purchased. That is an enterprise that we are getting into, and I will actually discuss that on a separate video. Today we're just going to focus on adventure. But Misfit Meadow is a 60-acre lot that we own out in Elfrida, and we're going to be going out there next and just letting the earth talk to us, because yesterday was Earth Day and also my birthday, and so we are going to go commune with the dirt. I found what I think is a fox den out there last time I was out there, and I want to show you it. It's so cool.
That is so cool. I can't wait to metal detect.
I know I should have built that, but next time you come down, we'll go out there and we'll do some metal detecting. So all right, the next clip you see will be us at the random and adorable little thrift store, it's consignment store, whatever it is. Super
I
cute.
don't know what the store is, so this is my first time. So
it's mainly furniture.
Is it?
Yeah, there's not like a lot of clothes and stuff, and they got the little pizza thing in the I don't know. It's so random.
That's crazy.
But alrighty, until the next scene. Hit the square. Yeah. All right. So now we are at Under His Wings, I believe is what it's called.
Yes.
And super cute little thrift store. Mainly furniture, like huge pieces of just solid wood gorgeousness. They don't have pizza today. Pizzas are only Fridays and Saturdays, and sometimes Thursdays. In a couple of weeks, they're going to have rib night. So, yeah, I might be ordering that. But we did get grilled cheese sandwiches on sourdough with crispy cheese on the outside.
Oh, yeah.
And Wild here got a tomato bisque soup that's
so good.
Homemade from scratch.
Oh my
Does
gosh.
it taste homemade from scratch?
It's homemade from scratch. Delicious.
And as the lady walked away, she said, "Oh, if you want some basil for your soup, there's a whole plant right here. You can go ahead and just pick your basil."
How is everything?
Very, very good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Amazing.
So delicious.
Yeah. Did we pay?
Not
Did
yet.
we pay? No.
Not yet. No,
Okay.
No, there's no rush.
Okay.
There's no rush. No, there's ice cream also.
Oh no. Can you imagine that? This is small town country living right here. There's a bunch of people inside, couple of dogs. These adorable little old guys are in there playing cards.
One guy does some carving, some really cool carving.
Yes, and there was these two ladies sitting on a bench, and we've decided that was us. And so we might be creating an intro logo out of that. So you might be seeing that coming. We didn't buy them because he wanted $150 for it. And I think that was a bit steep. They're beautiful, and I'm sure a lot of time and effort went into them, but I can't justify spending that.
Not now.
No.
Yeah.
No. But so here we are. And this one and I used to do this all the time. We've done silly adventures, and we had a falling out. I was going to bring that up last episode, and we ran out of time. But life is hard, and life doesn't necessarily always go the way that we want it to or that we expect, right? And so we had a falling out, and we were out of one another's lives for about a year. And come to find out, neither one of us ever stopped missing the other one.
I know. Oh.
And I don't even know who reached out or why, but then it was just
you that reached out, I think.
It could be.
Yeah.
It could be. And I mean, at first we were
maybe
both still.
Who knows? Maybe it was work.
I know we had to for work a couple of times, and then I think after that it just kind of turned into a little bit more, and then we were both like, "Listen, I miss you," and we were able to kind of put that in the past, and I think the lesson there is that life is hard, and just because you have a falling out with a friend or a family member or even an ex, it doesn't mean that you need to cast them out for the rest of their life, you know. And some people do, don't get me wrong, right? Sometimes you got to get rid of the toxic people in your life, but not always. And I think I think we're a good example of that, because and we're kind of kindred spirits, you know. And I missed her, damn it. I'm gonna try my sandwich.
I missed her as well, and I would, any kind of life moment, I would want to reach for the phone, or anytime that something happened. But I'm the one that had the falling out, and I feel that, and I don't want to be, any, darker philosophical, but I think the most important part of a friendship is that open line of communication, and just sharing how you really feel, and not what you think they want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big one, and that's the sign of true. To me, true friendship is to really to share, not just I'm mad and I'm going to cut you off because you let things build up because you didn't talk things out.
Right.
And that was a big life lesson. You learn life lessons at all stages of life, and it was super important for me to face that, and I let things build up, and all I had to do was say, hey, let's meet for lunch or something, and let's hash this out.
Stuff,
yeah. And so that was a sad sacrifice of a year.
Hash things out, but also seek clarification, right? What did you mean when you said this? Or what did you mean?
Crying.
Yeah, don't cry. Don't cry. You're going to water down your soup.
I know. So let's be funny.
That's the off topic. Very good sandwich. It's bacon and grilled cheese, and there's crispy cheese on the outside, and a lot of lovely gooey cheese on the inside. Very good, huh? Look at that. Everybody loves a good string pull or cheese pull, right? And look at this beautiful background. We're like on the outskirts of Sunsites and almost to Elfrida, and it's just beautiful out here. We were out here a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if I said that earlier. There was a cat that came into our care. It was an 8-year-old cat that the people were very, very sad to have to give up, and they had personal life issues happen, and they had to give up the cat. And this poor little girl just was not doing well adjusting from having been in their home her whole life, nice, quiet little older couple, to our zoo of chaos that is at our house. And a couple of days in, they called us and they said, hey, a friend of ours actually was interested, and you know, they're going to reach out to you. And we'd only had her a week, and we'd put a vaccine into her, but that's about it. And I said, you know, an 8-year-old cat needs to go back into a stable situation. And so we actually just drove out here and met the people here and just said, you know, just give her a happy life. And they gave us like $20 for gas, which was very sweet.
Nice.
And we popped in here.
Sorry, I'm a crier.
And we popped in here, and right away David was like, no, this is a you and Wild place, and you'll have to make sure to come back here next time. He was just not interested, you know, and he was a little uncomfortable in there. And so I told her, I said, next time you come down, we have to go here. And we walked in, and it took her breath away, you know. And so, hold on, a car just pulled up, stand by. These two young kids just walked in, and you can tell they're going to be staying a while. He just brought some soup or something with him.
Yep.
So they're probably getting ready to go in there and play cards with those older gentlemen. How cool is that?
And they're so cute that they have a little deaf
little deaf puppy
in there.
Not a puppy, 15-year-old.
15 years old, but it acts like a puppy. It's so cute.
Yeah, and the dogs are just running around. I said, well, I didn't realize. I would have brought mine. So if I ever do come back this way, maybe when I come and pick up the ribs, I'll bring like Squatchy or Macaroni, so that way Macaroni doesn't cry.
Oh, and Macaroni has a jean jacket, by the way. So fashionable.
She's so cute.
And it's form-fitting. It's just so cute.
David's going to help me edit this video, so this is where I tell you, here's what she looks like with the jean jacket. And then he'll put a little picture in there. But yeah, so this is a beautiful lunch.
So good.
And
so good, you guys.
It's nice to get ready to go on an adventure again. It's been a little long time. We were just discussing an adventure that we want to go on is actually all the way up to Holbrook, because this one here was telling me fascinating stories about a chiropractor up there that I have to see for myself.
Amazing man.
Yeah.
And that's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you're going to be.
We'll go up through Globe, spend a day up there, stop in Globe. They have a place that has really good tea. I'll pick up some tea for David.
I can't even remember where the place is, though. I went walking when you guys were at your CCM rollout. When I came in to visit you guys.
We'll have to Google it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, all right, so she's drinking another cup of coffee.
Yes, I drink a lot
Another
of
cup
coffee.
of coffee.
Yeah.
Another espresso at that.
Yes.
Yeah. An Americano?
Yes, Americano. This time it only had one shot, and so if I had to do it over, I would do 2 shots because, yeah, I'm hardcore black. Hardcore. Strong.
She likes her coffee like I like my men. So stupid. Yeah, so I don't know what we're supposed to talk about. We're new to this. Opposites. So the wild one here is somebody that eats tomato bisque soup and salads and drinks coffee, and I don't do any of those things. She's also of a different religious background, which is interesting because it allows us to have so many different perspectives on the same kind of topic, you know? Gives you a chance to kind of get to know things, so. And not just because she had a Mormon and cult background, but
That's a whole nother.
that's a whole different, you know, she has found her spiritual truth on her own after all of that stuff. So yeah.
And so you are not a fan of vegetables
At all.
at all, and I love any kind of vegetable.
We go to a restaurant and I tell them no carrot, no rabbit food on the plate.
Yes, and that murders me because the rabbit food makes the.
I would eat the rabbit before I ate the rabbit food. And I know I'm not supposed to say that because I run a rescue. But I would. I've had rabbit back in Germany.
We used to.
I remember you used to raise them.
St. George, Utah. My dad had a little rabbit, sort of a little area where we raised rabbits and we ate them, and that was a very interesting experience.
How long did you guys how long did he raise rabbits for meat like that? How long of a span was that?
So my memories of my childhood are very, very spotty, but I would say about a year. I'd have to check with my mom.
Is that during the Mormon era?
No, we were excommunicated. Well, my parents were excommunicated, and I don't believe that was the. I believe that
The rabbits were after?
the rabbits were after. But again, my memory's spotty, so I'll have to ask my family to clarify.
I remember you randomly mentioning one time, and I don't even know why we were talking about it. Oh, that's a nice breeze, huh?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Not like it's warm out here, but that's a nice little breeze. I don't remember what we were talking about, but we were talking about the bunnies and how you were mortified when one of the mamas ate one of the babies.
Yes.
And
We had to put Vaseline on her nose because she would want to eat the babies because we had touched them. She rejected them. That was my understanding. Again,
that's according to your
that's
dad.
according to my. We would have to go in and put not Vaseline, Vicks rub on her nose,
Really?
on the mama's nose because we had touched the babies, and that was because she would eat them if she sensed the human scent on them. And I have no idea if that I would have to completely Google that. So all you rabbit raisers and all of that,
Do tell.
do tell. Give me.
Is that just one of those tall
Wives'
tales
tales?
that dads tell their kids? Like, no, the ice cream man is closed for the day, right?
Oh. And I remember I had a rabbit that I named Annie, and my mom she had an overbite.
Your mom or the rabbit?
My mom had an
Okay.
overbite, and so I named her Annie because my mom's name was Annie, and but she had the opposite. She had the opposite, and I loved that rabbit. That rabbit was my baby, and then she ended up eating dinner,
Oh,
and that was
man.
traumatic.
That is
was
traumatic.
sad.
That is crazy.
So yeah.
So I had a kitten that still to this day my heart will never get past, and we named her Steven with a PH. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the meme of the dog with the long nose and like the overbite, and he says, "My name is Steven," and it's got the PHTEVEN, and it's off of that meme where the guy goes to Starbucks and the lady asks what his name is, and he says Steven with a PH, and that's how she had written it. And so they were making fun of that, right? And so me and my morbid sense of humor, I named my sweet little girl Steven with a PH. And she died of FIP, and she died very, very tragically in David's arms after a massive seizure. And he emailed me at work, and I was getting ready to teach a class, a parenting class, because Miss Wild and I are triple P certified in parenting classes.
Yes. That was another
Me,
thing I wanted to talk to you about.
yeah.
Note to self.
Note to self, and me for regular, regular child classes. They're good for the court systems and stuff like that, right? And mine is just, what is it, six through
12.
6 through 12, and Wild has the specialty training for trauma response and
disabilities.
and disability children. And so yeah. So there's that. But anyways, I was getting ready to go out and teach this class of, I want to say there was like 12 inmates.
sitting right outside my office in the little classroom area. And I get this email from David, and it pops up. And I had my work bestie in there, my former captain counterpart, Larkin, Princess, and he saw me break down in tears, and he was like, "What happened?" And I was like, "My kitty just died," and he's a cat guy. Him and his wife have cats, and they are just the most adorable couple, first of all, but they are equally adorable as cat parents. Like, they rival us in adorable when it comes to that. And he right away not only gets protective because he knows what he would feel like, but because we were work besties, right? And so I'm like breaking down crying, and there's like this whole class of inmates outside of my office, and right away he jumps up and he opens the door and he's like, "Class is canceled, everybody needs to get out right now." And everybody's like, what is going on? And he's like, "You heard me." And he was like serious and stern, and everybody was like, "Oh my gosh," right? I mean, he was the chief of security, he was the captain, and it was serious. If he tells you go do something, you better go do it, whether you're a staff member or an inmate. And they were like, "Okay." So they all leave, and I'm just crying. And then he calls, I want to say he called, if I remember right. He called our boss, and he was like, "Listen, like, Joy needs to go home. She's not doing well." And I went home, and it was horrible. It was horrible. And then, of course, over the course of the next couple of days, the guys that were sitting in the classroom waiting for me, and you know, they all knew me pretty well, and they were concerned about me at that point, and they were like, "Are you okay? Like, what happened?" And I was like, "My cat died." Right? And some of them were just like, seriously, like, because they're guys, right? And a lot of guys are just like, whatever, it's an animal. And others, you could tell the pet lovers in the room, they were like, "Oh no," you know, and they were just equally upset, like, on my behalf. And it was traumatic. And I have her little paw print in ink, and I'm going to get that tattooed. I want to get it tattooed on the top of my foot. And they say that that's like
Super painful.
Super painful. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to wuss out on that one, and I'm gonna have to do like the numbing cream first. So there's this gas station down the road, and usually, well, I found out how interesting it is inside because, fun fact about me, I have a hybrid, and I will run that thing. My work is like 35 miles from home, and I'll get to work and it'll say I have like 12 miles to empty. And I'll be like, "Challenge accepted."
And that is where we are the opposite. Because I think that I'm going to die of anxiety because I'm, you know, it says replace fuel low. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm going to get stranded. I'm going to be in the middle of the freeway. And run out of gas.
Now, there's been a couple of times that I've gotten pretty close. But no, so I will let it kick into hybrid mode and run on the electric, but I'll be on one of these country roads where the speed limit's like 55 or 65, and I'll be doing like 36 to keep it in electric mode. And I'll manage to get to the gas station.
I don't know how you do it.
I mean, a little bit of anxiety is involved. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I'm totally calm, cool, and collected about it. You know, no. It normally takes me exactly 40 minutes to get from home to work, and on days like that, it takes me like a little over an hour because I'm just puttering along at like I said, 30-something miles an hour. And I'll tell David, "Well, you know, I'm going to be a little bit late today. I'm going to have to drive a little slow." And he goes, "Are you almost out of gas again? Like, again? Seriously?" People will pass me, coworkers will pass me going either direction, and they'll be like, "Are you almost out of gas again?" And I'm like, yeah, keep driving. Just nothing to see here. So.
That is crazy.
I really got to be a better person, is what I really need to do. So. God, it's gorgeous out here.
It's beautiful. Yeah. This is my happy place. I love this area.
What was the story that we were talking about before she came out? Stephen. So, I'm going to go ahead and plug in a picture of her here. but she had a little overbite. It was a birth defect or something. A pretty significant overbite. It was a beautiful little cream colored little girl, and I can't think about her too long without crying. I was thinking, since we were talking about doing solo episodes too,
Yeah.
I was thinking about doing kind of like what I started to try to do on Twitter, and then I just like lost interest, where I do an episode on each animal and maybe like lock them in the room with me and like, this is Toby.
I love that. I love that.
She loves Toby too.
Toby's my
He
favorite.
was schmoozing
Toby.
her last
I know,
night
like,
so hard.
My favorite. He's this big, luscious beauty. Oh my God. I was like, okay, I'm sold.
And David is like, he's a weirdo.
And then
And he
Coyote.
Coyote is my sweet precious angel from above.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, my newest ink, I don't know if you can see it, that is actually based on this picture. I'll have David plug it in now. That is my Coyote, and the red line is actually the red string of fate. And this was a birthday gift because a very special friend of mine has the other end of it, and we can link pinkies and the line links. And then, that is the world's smallest violin, people. Look at that. Look at that. Now, she knows me enough to know that I'm not that person at work, right? I don't like dismiss people's concerns like that. But I will talk shit. And
Yes.
if you're somebody I have a good rapport with, I would do like, okay. Right? And then, here's the best one, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but can you see? Look at that. Whiskers. Whiskers. This one was Tony's idea. You see that? So, it lines up perfectly. That's Tony's idea. Tony's my son. And then the world's tiniest violin was David's idea. And I will tell you, the finger pads hurt way less. Hurted. Way less. It hurted way less than the side of the finger did. That was interesting. It did not tickle.
So it like hurt really bad. This would hurt, right?
This one, not really. It right there in the corner a little bit, but this one was definitely like, ooh. But the finger pads, you would think, like, have you ever done the finger poke? Like, at the doctor's office? And it hurts.
Yeah.
Or if you poke your finger on something, it hurts.
Or like a paper cut.
Yeah, this was like, meh. But I see that some of it's already fading, and it's only like a week old. And, but the finger generally is, but like it's thicker skin, and I think he just didn't go deep enough in some of it, so maybe that's why it didn't hurt. But yeah, so that's that. Some of my many tattoos, but Coyote is the only one featured on me of all my pets, and Steven is gonna have her paw print on me, but that should tell you where Coyote ranks.
He's a sweet boy.
He is my sweet boy.
He was found where?
He was at work at Fort Grant Prison.
Yeah.
And he was found by one of the other officers shortly after Baby Cat was found. Like maybe a month after Baby Cat was found. She has her own story we'll get into, but Coyote had a lacerated arm from up here all the way down. Just like a perfect line. And the finder initially thought that it was like he got caught in like a belt in a car or something, but I believe that it was razor wire because it was just a perfect cut. And so they rushed him to the vet and they sewed him up. And so when he was in our care as a foster, his name was Stitch. And then they weren't able to save the arm. There was too much nerve damage, and the arm started to atrophy, and it was kind of like tilted like this. There's pictures of that. And so they had to amputate. So he's one of my two little tripods. And he is just, when he was little, he used to hiss. When we first got him, we kept him in our walk-in closet because it was nice and warm in there. And anytime we opened the door, he would look at us and he would just hiss because he didn't know. He was little enough, obviously, to tame, but he didn't trust us. And it was just the cutest thing, and his hair just stood up everywhere. And he's like a Russian blue mix, and He was so cute, and now he looks mean and he looks intimidating, but he is the goofiest sweet boy who walks around and warbles like a turkey. And
It's horrible.
he does warble, and he's just amazing.
So cute.
But yeah, so that's that. That's my sweet precious angel from above.
Yes.
My phone has 15% battery life left, so we're gonna cut this recording short, and we'll probably do the next segment out at the land. Hopefully this charges in the car a little bit, because we got about a half-hour drive ahead of us. If not, then maybe we can use her video and we'll figure it out.
Yep.
Once we figure out how to do this technology, it'll run a lot smoother.
And we'll be pros.
And you guys won't be any the wiser.
Wildly joyful times are ahead.
Hi there. We have taken a detour to the most adorable feed store. And I have to show you this like setup. Like, I'm terrible with photographs
We will
and
add photographs.
videos, and Joy is the master of all that.
Look at this.
But look,
It's
this-
springy.
look. Just like my grandson doesn't say his L's, and he goes, Nana, yuck. So we are yucking. But anyway, and then see the seat? It's like a saddle thingy.
It's like an old tractor seat.
Yeah. How crazy.
Did you get all the beautiful flowers behind you?
I was gonna get your beautiful face, but here.
The flowers are far more beautiful.
So yes, I'm gonna take you on a little tour, and we have a really cool place to sit in a minute. But is that like so freaking cool? And see, there's sign. I'm gonna zoom in if I can, and then zoom out. And they have just beautiful plants and yard art, of course. So much beauty here. And then I am going to take you, they have a gift shop that has beautiful art. And they were raising chickens in the back, and we got to see emus and a goat. And now we're going to go to our favorite place in the whole wide world.
And we are going to add pictures that we took. We're going to edit them in of us being up there in that amazingness.
See, that is what we're talking about. We were up there, and the breeze was blowing beautifully, and we just thought we died and went to heaven.
Man,
You can imagine breakfast up there, coffee in the morning.
it's so peaceful.
Oh my gosh.
And I might have spent some
There's
money.
Joy's car. I won't show the license plate.
I might have spent
Oh,
some
yes,
money. There will be a
yes.
picture of that too.
Yes, and hopefully it's okay to say this, and we might edit it out. If not, we had a dear friend that was involved in a really scary car accident, so we were able to get her a gift that I think will be meaningful to her. So, but yeah,
And the prices here are very, 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 if not reasonable, I would even say fair, and
yes.
they're undersold.
Yes,
It's amazing.
and these the owner's husband builds these on site. So if you wanted something like this on your property, they would come and build them. So that is just so cool. And this, again, I'm going back to this seating space. There's also, I don't know if I'm showing you right, but there's also seating on the bottom. Is that like so cool? And there's the steps, kind of the tree, or the plant is in the way kind of, but all right.